with Power Rangers Dino Fury now heading into a hiatus, now would be a good time for me to go back and see how has Dino Fury done so far, and overall, what do I think about the season in general. First of all, let's go over the show. The show so far I feel like is good, but I do feel like it's okay at times as well. Like, to me, every time I've watched episode 1 through 8, except the 8th episode, it felt like the show was good. Like, I enjoyed the episode, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest season ever. But I do think nonetheless that this has been a solid season of Power Rangers in the first episode so far, and the 8th episode I think, to be honest, is the best one, because we had so much to go on with in the 8th episode. And overall, what I do think about the season with character-wise, I do like Zayto as the Red Ranger, you know? It makes sense why he is the Red Ranger, because he was with the previous Rangers of Dino Fury back when he was serving with the soldiers of Raycon when that planet had been fought over with the Sporix that came down, so it does make sense for him to do that. Also, the introduction of the Morphing Masters I thought was really interesting, because it's like, we have this thing that's come from the comics, and I didn't necessarily think that they would be included in the TV show, but the fact that they did include them here in the TV show with the Morphing Masters basically being like, you know, the mythological gods, basically being the ones to give the Rangers their powers. I think overall that was really cool to see all of that go down. And also with everyone getting their powers, it makes sense how they have stumbled upon getting their powers. Now with Ollie as the Blue Ranger, he to me kind of feels like if there was a green male ranger, he would be that, because it makes sense. Like, to me, he doesn't come across as someone trying to challenge Zayto so that, you know, Ollie could one day be the Red Ranger. It just seems to me like he likes being the Blue Ranger, and it's like he has no problem. What I have noticed about Ollie in this season is obviously his banter with Amelia. You know, you'll see in most episodes where Ollie and Amelia are bantering about something. It's mostly Ollie doing the bantering with Amelia. It's just one of those like, haha, pokes fun at her and all that stuff. It makes her like, it makes the characters feel not straightforward. It makes them have a little bit of character. It makes them have a little bit of personality, which I think can go far in Power Rangers as well. Speaking of Amelia, I do like the fact that she is the Pink Ranger. She does come across as like this typical Pink Ranger, where it's like, you know, she starts off with Buzz Blast, she gets sent on a mission, and to be honest, I think she fits as the Pink Ranger. And I do like the fact that, you know, she's like mostly the level-headed person in here as well. You know, she was there for Zayto when he was trying to contact someone at RAVCon. And, you know, it had that good character arc in episode 7 where it was like she ran into bad luck, but then as we'll see with Zolon, you know, she was able to figure out that, you know, luck is just one thing and how you want to make it. Now, when we get on with the Green Ranger, Izzy, I think overall she's done a good job as well. You know, obviously being the first green female ranger helps as well, because it's like, it makes it feel like she's kind of like if we had a female yellow ranger, like that's who she would be. And it really does seem like she fits as well. Like, she's a competitive person. Like, again, it gives her some more character arc, and also it makes her have some personality to the show as well. Finally, we get to Javi, the Black Ranger, and overall, it's gonna take me a little bit of time to get to Javi because he's just there sometimes. But overall, I do feel like his personality will grow. Like, he wants to be a musician and whatnot, and I think overall he's an okay character. I'm not like super joyous with him as well, but with time it'll get better. And then we get to Zolon. Zolon is a mentor I really think is cool as well. You know, we have an actual dinosaur, kind of like in a way like with Keeper, even though Keeper was a dinosaur, but either way, Zolon as the mentor I think is cool as well, because it's like, man, like Zolon is this level-headed mentor. She knows what to do most of the time, and overall, basically If Dino Charge had a dinosaur like as a mentor, that would be pretty interesting to see as well. Also, we're getting the Gold Ranger, which again, I've seen the article about him. Overall, I think it's cool that we're getting a Gold Ranger because with Ryusolger, we knew we were getting him. The one thing I will say is that they did lead early on. We were getting the Gold Ranger. We just didn't necessarily know who it was going to be until a couple weeks ago when we got the news breaking that they revealed who it was before he debuted, which I think was kind of a bad thing because it's like it was predictable we were getting one nonetheless, but the fact they announced who he was before he debuted on the show was kind of off. Oh hi, it's Future Andrew. I forgot to talk about the villains, which are actually not bad this season. So now after episode 8, we know why Void Knight is getting the Sporix, and we know why he's harvesting them. We also know about Mucus, and we also know about what the Rangers or the Monsters of the Week are doing. We know what their purpose is, and that is to try to destroy the Rangers. And overall, that's my thoughts on the villains for the season so far. Now, back to Past Andrew. Now, of course, we gotta talk about the thing that's been the hot topic this whole season, which is the Green Ranger removing the skirt. And it's like, I understand why they did that because, you know, they want to use the toy footage. They're going to have to do it because in Ryusolger, the Green Ranger was a male and he didn't wear skirts. So it made sense in a way for them to do that. And I just feel like overall, like this whole big, they made a big to do about this. And I'm like, it's literally her removing her skirt. That's all that is. I mean, it's just for that reason alone. Like, and I don't know. It just feels like it just got blown way out of proportion. And it was just like, why do all of that just when she removed her skirt? I didn't get that at all. Now, let's get on to the ratings. So I've looked at the ratings before, and I haven't looked at the rating for episode 8 yet. But overall, it does seem like they're in the top 100 most of the time. They're mostly in the top 75 when they air on Saturdays with their rating. And overall, it's decent for Power Rangers. But again, it's not near where it used to be when Dino Charge and Ninja Steel was on Nickelodeon. Obviously, the big factor is the fact that it airs in my area at 7 a.m., which is really early, and most kids don't wake up until like 8 or 9. So it's kind of interesting to see the ratings, but it's kind of understandable because it's like at the bad time slot they are in, it makes it kind of hard for a lot of people to watch Power Rangers at a specific time. But one thing I will say is that on Power Rangers, one of their YouTube channels, I think it's Power Rangers Kids, you can see the full episode on their YouTube channel so more people can catch up to it. And it does seem like those videos get to like 200,000, 250,000 views because people are able to watch the episodes on demand, which is something that I've been asking about Hasbro, and that is, are we going to see Hasbro renew the deal for Nickelodeon, or are they going to move it to a streaming platform like with Paramount Plus or maybe Discovery Kids Plus? Because I think if they move it to a streaming platform, I think it allows for more people to have access to watch it, especially now with the demand of VPNs as well. So more people will be able to watch Power Rangers if they move it to a streaming service versus having it air on one part of a really early slot on Nickelodeon. That's just something I've asked for as well. Another thing that I've been keeping my eye on is toy quality. And I've been looking at Amazon, seeing where things are with the Lightning Collection of 2021, seeing where things are with the Dino Charge toys as well as the Morpher, and what I've seen so far overall. And from what I can tell with the toys, they're good quality, but they're not great quality like you've seen with Ryusolger and Bandai Japan. And when you look at the toys, it does seem like they're really more aimed for kids. And again, if you look at Ryusolger, they have a lot more functionality, especially with the Dino keys as well. Like with the Dino keys, they're more plastic over. They have the little holographic little painting thing on it, but overall that's all they do. But I do like the fact that they have different sounds as well. But again, I do feel like if they put a little bit more money into it to try to make it closer to Ryusolger, I think that would have made it even better. But what I've read on Amazon and places like that, overall people like the toys as well, and I have no problem looking at the toys as well. And it does seem like the toys are way better quality than what we got with Ninja Steel, which was bad. But Beast Morphers, as an example, the toys there as well weren't great, but I did feel like they were pretty good as well. Like, they were decent, if you will. Finally, I want to get to the overall sentiment from the community. One thing I will say is that when I put out a poll every week, or when I did my reviews here on the channel, which if you want to see my different episode reviews, the playlist will be down in the description if you want to see that. But I did a poll as well every episode, or mostly every episode, and I did it before they went on hiatus, saying what does people think about Dino Fury? And mostly everyone thinks it's a good season. And even before I started recording, I went on Google to look up the ratings as well. And overall, people think that it's a good season. I mean, it's not like the greatest season of Power Rangers ever by any means necessary. But I do think nonetheless that it has been a solid season of Power Rangers. And if I would recommend this to someone watching, I would say if you haven't watched like the first couple of episodes, you might be lost who anyone is. But I think once we come back from the hiatus, I think things will pick up a little bit. And plus, two things make sense overall. And that's the good thing, is that when you look at Power Rangers, everything so far makes sense as to why it's happening. Especially when we got the Nexus Prism in episode 8. It was understandable why it showed up, because the Morphing Master sent the Prism out to go see if the Rangers need help. That's why Mick showed up. It made sense as to why things were happening, and that's the good part. What do you guys think of Dino Fury so far? Let me know in the comment section down below. And until next time, I'm Andrew Michael, and I'll see you guys in the next one.